Okay, so that brings us up to session number 96, or season 1, episode 7 of phase 3. You liked the upbeat music there, Josh?
Yes, very upbeat. Definitely suitable for where we're going at the moment.
Well,
Totally not ominous, spooky.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
And I'm sure the title of Battle at the Gate for the Curse of Strahd Into the Mists music set is absolutely no indication at all of where you're going.
No.
No.
It definitely doesn't have the word battle in it.
So I'll give you a recap of where you are, and then I'll introduce everyone. So you are traveling into the Feywild, trying to find out, well, the Feydark actually, trying to find out why the Necromantic Gate network is in use and who's using it, to make sure that the Alphatian army doesn't use it to get into Galantry, avoiding the borders and the people. So you had travelled to Karabikos, to where the suspected gate was, considering one of the vampires from there made it to Galantry without passing through the intermediary lands. And you found a portal there that led you into the Feydark and into a castle where you've had a few spiritual encounters, found a magic statue that made you feel better, a mace that scared everyone else, and a glowing, beating crystalline heart that you couldn't find the second time, and have followed a bit of music around with you from huge organ that you then discovered with what looked like the owner of the tower before he disappeared, making you believe he was an illusion the entire time. So a few interesting things have happened.
Disappear, or did it stay?
The organ stayed there, but the player who welcomed you and gave you a feast, which Zal was the only one who partook,
Yeah.
managed to see what happens next. So that brings us to M's character.
I love it. I am Saul. You're at a level cleric wizard.
Average.
I am starting to learn even more about my heritage and where I come from and all the spooky stuff that comes with it. So yay!
And we got a nice...
Is my name still like plastered across the sky?
You haven't looked outside to check.
Okay, I'll do that at some point.
Well, hey, they must like you so much they've written your name in the stars.
Just out of like morbid curiosity, like, is my name still there? Yep. Cool.
I've forgotten how to spell my name. Oh wait, there it is.
Which
that's how you spell.
Which then brings us to Josh, who missed his moment.
That's okay. Hi, I am Josh. I play Cheval the Paladin.
It's longer every time.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he did.
I have to put a timer on my phone just to make sure it is longer.
But he did miss his usual barb at the introduction of Zal.
Yes. No, that's it for a Ranger.
Did you on the recording?
Yeah,
I think it did.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know.
I heard it.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
I
it must have come across on the recording.
heard it twice. I heard it right next to me, and then repeated through my headset.
Oh, that's good. Because
As long as the failed Ranger knows that that's their role.
And then that brings us to Sue.
Okay, I play a human ranger named Imni. She joined the adventuring party on the behest of her heroine or hero, Kamdu, who is no longer here. Even in bodily form, she's dead. And she used to worship Kamdu, but she's now coming into her own abilities and understanding her own worth.
And we have up on our map of people showing us that tonight we got apologies from Ross, who plays Yodri, from Ariadne, who plays Thala, and from Khan, who plays, what is this character's name again called? My braining not so well. So Khan plays Shigi. So we've had a few apologies tonight due to life, which happens. And the last thing your characters did before you finished the last session was you freed a guy from a cage, and were about to try to find a way out of the castle.
Yes, it was like a 1,000 or so year old werewolf, I think. From memory?
Well, he seemed to know a lot of stuff from before one of the regions got renamed. So, considering that was quite a long time ago, it could quite easily be quite a few thousand years old. And
And he's being used as the unwilling family blood relative to open the portal by the sounds of it. All from what I've been able to gather.
it looks like he has. So, at the end of last session, I believe one of you picked up a magic sword that spoke to them, which was Shigi. It's actually quite amusing that he's not here this week to continue talking to his sword.
Yeah.
So as you look, you see both Shigi and Thala disappear as if they weren't there, leaving the three of you with the guy who you believe is a werewolf.
Yay.
I kind of I look at the werewolf and I go like a raise an eyebrow, like what was that?
He says, "What was what?"
I point to the empty spot where our friends used to be, and go the disappearing act of our friends.
Are you a magic person?
Yes, but
Didn't-
I didn't think I had that kind of magic.
Well, if you're a magic person, you could probably explain it better than I could.
Well, seeing as I can't explain it, probably. I mean, what would that be? Insight?
Well, it could be teleportation. It could be some form of phase shifting or plane shifting. Or it could even be they were just figments of your imagination all along.
That fills me with such confidence.
Well, you can't quite remember anything they actually did that made any impact since they came to this world with you.
Apart from the huge blood mental stuff?
That was Yodri, who's still here.
Also disappeared.
Yodri's still here.
Oh, he's still there.
He is.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you said all three of them disappeared.
Well, Yodri had wandered off a little bit. You can hear the splashing of him in the hallway.
Oh, right.
Because that's what Yodri tends to do when he's not being watched or looked after. And you just examine looking for some stuff here.
Is that where she got that sword?
Yeah, you're in the dungeons where Shiki picked up the sword, or at least you assume it was Shiki and Thala because now they're not here anymore.
Mm.
Maybe the magic sword took them home.
Maybe.
That's kind of worrying. Just a little bit.
Well, might not have taken them to the character's home, but they've taken them to the sword's home.
That's even more worrying. Well, do we explore more, or do we find this exit? Because I can't quite remember what our goal was at the end of last session.
Yeah, I can't either.
You had been hoping to find how this place connected to the necromantic teleportation network that allowed people to get to Galantry undetected by the outside world.
Yes.
And you were queried to make sure that the Alphatians were not able to use it themselves.
Well, given what we've learned so far, is the fact that they need an unwilling, like, blood sacrifice. And we currently have the current and living blood sacrifice out of his prison and with us. We could almost assure that, well, actually, that's not right. At least this portal, we know we can get out, maybe?
Once you find where the portal is, they could be in many places.
I guess I asked our new friend, new acquaintance, if he has any idea of where it might be.
He says he's not seen much beyond the prison he was locked in. He's seen more with you than the entire time he's been here.
Right.
He was hoping you could lead him out.
Well, we would, hopefully, potentially. We just gotta find the exit first.
Yeah.
And considering the person who had made the water disappear from you is now gone, you see the water start to rush into neck high.
Maybe we should get out of this.
I think we should. I think we need to move.
Definitely need to move.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go.
Though considering the height of most of you, that's neck high while you're treading water. So yes, you actually need to swim out against the current. So you each get to make an athletics check.
Ooh, athletics. Ooh, that's my good skill. Yay!
Not the best skills, though.
Come on, when you were a ranger, it was brilliant. I said when you were a ranger.
Okay, dirty 20. Dirty 20.
Okay, that might not be too bad. But that wasn't my favorite dice either. 16?
16. And how did our paladin go?
24.
Whoa.
Okay, so it seems that the one struggling the most was our necromancer.
Bad ranger.
As you manage to reach the corridor going up the stairs, so now the water's only about 2 feet deep, so about half most of your height. This is where it is quite interesting just how deep this water is down here compared to how tall you are. You can see the stairs up and the corridor continuing the other way. You've only you've explored both of the prisons as it appears.
Yeah. And that was the only stuff downstairs. Is that right?
The corridor does continue on between the prisons. So there's a corridor that goes east-west. On the eastern side were the stairs that go back up to the entry. To the western side you have not been. To the north and south was where the prisons were.
Oh, right. Okay. Did we see both sides?
You
Or
did
we
see
only
both
the
sides.
side?
You found the werewolf in the south and the magic sword in the north.
Oh, right. Okay, cool. I guess we continue down that corridor. Is the water rising anymore? Or is it...
No, because the prisons were 3 steps down into the water, which is why it was 5 feet deep.
Yep. Okay.
I'd forgotten how deep it actually was until I remembered how tall the rest of the party was.
Yeah, like, cause I'll be like, what did I say? 5'1".
So at 5'1", your eyes are above the water, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. If I flip my head up.
But hey, at 2 feet deep, it's still quite deep for most of you. And when you start looking around, you can't see where Yodri's gotten to.
Oh. But he'd already gone though.
No, he'd been sloshing down a corridor when you were trying to figure out what happened to Thala and Shigi.
Oh. Okay.
Because, he is a halfling and they do tend to wander off when not watched.
Yeah.
And you're not sure if he went left or right. Did he go upstairs or to the area you've not been yet?
I'm gonna hope that his curiosity got the better of him. And then he went to the spot that we haven't been yet. I mean, I'll call it out. Hopefully it will like echo.
Okay.
And I hear it.
So
They're like, Yodri, where'd you go?
you'll hear Zal call out and there is no echo.
Huh.
That's not spooky at all. Even though, it's like in a giant stone castle.
Well, it could be worse. It could be saying your name in response.
It could be. I'm sure my dad is doing just a perfect job of that.
Well, he's not said anything for a little while. Ever
That's
since
funny.
you've come downstairs, he's not said a word.
Oh. I look to see if he's okay.
You look at the drift globe and it's darkened over. You can't actually see the skull.
Uh-oh. That's never happened before.
It has not. It was always clear. Maybe bathing him in the blood water was a bad thing.
And I try cleaning it off. Wait, is the water blood water?
Well, it was red in colour.
Oh, is it?
Yep. And you had someone doing move water, so you didn't actually step in it that much.
Oh, see, I missed the fact that it was red.
And you also have dancing lights that are red in colour, so you can't actually tell if it's red or just the colour of your lights.
That is true. I did do that.
You did, and I remembered.
change the color of my dancing lights to like a normal white color.
Okay, as you change from the red spectrum, you can start to see the skull appear. You have an understanding now that in the red light you can't see through the outer cover of the drift globe.
Oh, interesting. Well, I like at my drift globe and just go like, I'm glad you're okay.
Which is something you never knew before.
Yeah, so whether that's like a thing in this domain or not sure.
And you realize that the color of the water that you've been standing in really is red.
I presumably look down at our clothing because we did get very wet this night.
Yes, you're all covered in red, and it does look viscous like blood.
Delicious.
And now you feel hungry.
Really?
If you remember last session.
No, I do. I think that should continue. But not loud.
And you've got two very nicely marinated people next to you, plus someone that doesn't smell very appealing at all.
I'm going to presume the one that doesn't smell very appealing at all is the werewolf.
Yep.
Yeah.
Has that wet dog smell.
Good to know. I'll start to use prestidigitation and try and get rid of the sights, smell of people.
Okay, so as you use prestidigitation, you seem to realize that instead of cleaning them, you've been seasoning them. They smell even better to you.
Oh.
So, doing that then? If I can.
Oh, you have no problem stopping doing it, but you are now having that mouth-watering look on your face whenever you look at the paladin or the ranger.
I'm sure I'm giving the paladin mixed messages,
Well, it does add to the "I want to eat you all up" sort of comment.
I'm going to see if I can fish out any food out of my pack and start eating that.
Okay, so you pull out a bit of food from your pack and bite down on it, and it tastes disgusting. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw. Fantastic.
Okay, you end up having to throw up. You feel as if your dried rations have gone off.
I gotta look at the paladin and I'm like, I don't feel good.
You don't feel good?
I don't feel good.
Ah.
What you do?
My food is off. That's the throwing up. Unless you make me a bit of like glass. And that's but I wouldn't be surprised because, you know.
But you don't know.
Exactly, you don't care. Why would Paladin ever care what happens to me?
Okay.
Well, the paladin cares enough that you're his ticket. You're her ticket home.
Yeah, apparently.
Or she's your ticket home.
Like, go the same, like, vice versa. Almost. Himself has like a little bit more care and feeling for the paladin. Sometimes.
Yes, sometimes. 2 ways, buddy. I do a medicine roll on the thing that used to be a ranger.
Okay.
And medicine's unreleased.
It is. Or it could use another one if you can justify it.
Wisdom. Wisdom.
Oh, yeah.
23.
23. Okay, so looking over the paladin, sorry, not the paladin, the former ranger, the failed ranger, you see that he seems to be okay as far as you can tell. Looks a little green as if he's just been poisoned.
Poison.
Oh, that's what you're feeling, isn't it? Not you, but the ranger. I mean the.
We all keep reminding you that you were once a ranger.
Your ever lovable Eric Wizard, thank you very much.
Failed ranger. Yes.
No.
Yes.
And while you're looking at things, you do notice that the food he was eating doesn't seem to have anything wrong with it as far as you can tell.
So, what did you do?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
You could give me a nature check, and that might give you some more information.
Nature.
Hmm? It's not for evening to do, is it?
Imni could do it as well if Imni's paying attention.
15?
Yeah.
Imni can have a
Okay.
nature check as well.
Yep. Okay. Good. Oh. No, Amy is not paying attention. She rolled a 1.
Well, if you rolled a 1, it's even better. What does Imni think is happening?
Well, it gives her a 2 with her +1 in nature, but she has no idea. She.
Well, what the GM here is asking Sue to make up what Imni thinks is happening. And Imni explains to the others exactly what's going on here, because Imni knows best with rolling a 1.
No. She thinks that Rodri's just he's always running off and doing weird things, so he's just he's just pretending. There's nothing wrong with him.
But
He's just pretending.
Oh,
Well,
Zal pretending.
Oh, Zal, yeah, she's pretending too.
and that's where I think Chauvel reminds Imni that Zal is a guy.
Don't worry. I'm pretending to be that too, apparently.
Come on, Zal, it's all in your head.
Yeah,
Just stop
absolutely.
thinking about being sick, and you'll be fine.
And Just to throw in as the devil's advocate here, you could have had, you believe that Zali's pregnant even though he's male. You could have thrown in that it's because he ate food in the Fey Dark. You could have thrown in he must have swallowed too much of this water and that's what made him sick.
Hmm.
No. The fact that I'm making it up and I've had some gender change. That's good.
Yours was a shock.
But hey, there is magic to give you a sudden gender change if you'd like that to happen as a curse.
Oh, we know. We know.
At this point in time, and the amount of stuff I'll see, you probably would not be surprised at all.
Well, it'd be an interesting discussion to have with your love interest in the outer world.
Yes, it would be. Hey, apparently the Fey Dog turned me into a girl. Yay!
Okay, so now that you've cleared up this whole reason why you're feeling sick,
It's all my head, I'm making it up.
I'm assuming 15 got me nothing.
on a 15, you do remember, whether you tell Zal or not, that there are stories about people being affected by the food in the Feywild and the Fey Dark. And you smartly decided not to eat it.
I pat Zol on the back. Nice banquet in your stomach, buddy.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Bet you feel great now.
Well, I did up until about like 5 minutes ago.
Though you still feel hungry. The food did not satisfy you at all because you had to throw it all up.
Ah.
What is Zal going to eat next?
I'm just gonna not eat. I don't feel like eating anymore.
As Zal says that, everyone hears his stomach grumble quite loudly.
I was about to say, this whatever you've done to yourself won't take no for an answer.
Apparently not.
And amusingly, you're the only one here who feels hunger. As both Imni and Chauvel still haven't felt hungry no matter how long they've been here. You may have been here for a day, a year, a millennia, and still not feel hungry right now. So with that dilemma in mind, what do you choose to do next? Go upstairs or continue down that passageway?
Well, we still can really figure out where our way would, your journey went. And I think as I was trying to say before, I really hope, his curiosity won out and he went down the corridor that we found him for.
Okay, so you start heading down that way with that hope?
I do. Not
Okay.
sure about everyone else.
Well, hey, it's probably safer that you're in front. You won't be eyeing off their necks from behind. You are followed by the prisoner who you freed. Did I even write his name down? I'm sure I did. Well, I'm sure he's actually got a name. Emil Torinescu is his name. I even showed you a picture. which is actually one of the things I remember telling you about it, because I pointed out that it is a common family name in Karamikos still.
That's right. You did.
And then they had that nice picture of him making it look like he's actually sweating.
It's been
So,
Given that he doesn't smell appealing, I'm going to start talking to him and finding out if things he might have picked up in an atmosphere.
well, he hasn't been here that long, he says. He's yet to see the sunset. Or rise. So he's sure he's only been here, a couple of days at the most.
Okay. That's interesting.
But he says he's happy to follow you out to the exit, if this is the exit, he says, as he's following you, sloshing through the water.
Did we tell him that we thought he was from thousands of years ago?
You did not.
Um,
You did not.
okay.
Because that means that the wife he was waiting to get back to would probably be dead by now.
Yeah, not entirely sure on how I'm gonna approach that.
By the way, everyone you know he's dead. Have a nice day.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so as you step through into a large room, you see that it rises up quite high compared to the rest of the area, about 17 feet above the surface of the blood red water, which is a bit deeper in here than in the passageway, as it's about 3 feet deep. And to the north of you sits a balcony, which is above the water's surface. This room looks to be about 50 foot square, and you can see chains hanging down looking like black web strands. And you can see 2 large thrones sitting atop of the balcony with red velvet curtains behind them.
Thrones, did you say?
Yep, big thrones. A viewing balcony. Very much like you've just walked into a theatre and there's 2 seats there for someone to watch you. And looking on in the water around you, you see what you identify as torture racks, iron maidens, stockades, and other instruments of torture, with skeletons still inside most of them.
Someone likes their entertainment.
So looks like they go a little bit further than they did in the Chalix people for Pathfinder.
And that's saying something because that's a horror game.
That is a horror game, yes.
Yeah.
Well, the dark side of the world is where most of the horrors can be found.
Someone definitely likes their evening entertainment. Or did. Given that the skeletons don't look fresh.
late nights and late nights.
Is Shoval saying that?
No. Well, does Chevelle think that these things have been eaten?
Give me a medicine roll as you check. 13. Looking them over, you can see knife cuts on the body, making you think someone on the bones, making them look as if someone has stripped all the flesh off them with a knife. And as you're doing so, the skeleton moves slightly, as if it's still got some form of life within it.
Oh my god, yeah. They skin them alive.
And you have an insight into the fact that the person hasn't died yet.
They're a skeleton or zombie or lich.
Well, they haven't been brought back from the dead. They just haven't died, no matter how much has been done to them.
Oh. Ooh, that's that's not nice.
So by the looks of things, you've got about 6 people who have been tortured so much they're just literally bones, but still have their spirit trapped in their body.
Huh.
It does bring back to you some of the horror stories of the Fey Dark and why people generally don't come here.
Mm.
As you see all the bodies turn their heads to look at the paladin.
The walking advertisement.
Well, even without their eyes, they can still see paladin when they look at them.
Mhm.
Yep, I'm freaked out and I don't want to be here.
Soul will make the passing comment of the walking advertisement as I head towards the thrones.
Well, the thrones are 10 feet up because the balcony is a full 7 feet above the water level.
Is there any stairs?
No stairs at all. It is a viewing platform completely. There is no entry on this side of the viewing area.
And we also haven't found out where would Yodri here.
Though he may have taken a passage that no longer exists. This castle does tend to change as you move through it.
Yes. Well, if we can't get up, then the only recourse we have, I guess, is backtrack. If we can.
Or you could scale the balcony. You could get up there with a grappling hook if you were to carry one. Or you could build a human ladder. And I'm sure everyone would be perfectly happy to have Zal climb up the back of them.
If anyone would have a like hook and rope, it's probably the paladin. Maybe even the druid.
Yotri probably would.
Maybe not.
Or maybe the ranger.
Did anyone pack a grappling hook?
I think I used to carry one, but I'm not sure if both would still have it.
I thought I had a lasso.
You
I do
also,
not.
you also have the slight problem that you can't reach into your extra dimensional bags.
There's that too.
So you might have this whole pile of wonderful equipment that you can't get to.
Well, then yes, even if Zol did have one, it would be a bag of holding something.
But you can make a human ladder.
can't find my shit now.
I mean, you don't have to. If you don't want to.
What? What do you want? Not you guys, the cat.
The cat always wants attention. And he always wants you to stop giving attention if you're giving attention.
No, he just keeps meowing at me. I think he wants out. I'll have to go let him out. Hang on. Oh. Come on, man.
Just gonna grab some food while you're sorting that out. So how are you going to solve a balcony problem? It's like the whole locked door issue. How do you get through the locked door? It's one of the party banes.
So the driver's fine open it? Sorry.
Sorry, I'm back.
I was just asking them how are they going to solve getting onto the balcony, or are they just going to say the balcony has defeated them like many a locked door and return to the stairs?
Could we just throw a rope and climb up?
Do you have a rope that's not in a portable hole or bag of holding?
I would have. Let me see.
I did ask. You might not have heard me though, because I was.
No, rope happen 50 feet. I have.
So it looks
in my
like
backpack.
looks like Imni actually does not have hers hidden away in another world.
It's in my backpack. So, what do we need to do to throw it up over the balcony?
Probably a
Athletics check.
Athletics check. Okay, let me do that.
If you had a grappling hook, it would be with advantage.
Do I have a grappling hook? Let me have a look. Rope, tinderbox, torch, miskit rations. No grappling hook. Oh well. I do have a longbow and arrows. Not a grappling hook. Okie doke. Okay, I rolled a 15 plus 6 is 21.
Okay, you managed to get the rope caught around one of the chairs.
Cool.
Who do you send up first?
I'm happy to go up first.
As there seems to be no objection, you managed to... What does Zal say?
Sorry. I was gonna say Zol will very much need help getting up, so anyone else going first is probably a boon.
Yep. Okay, well, I'll go first.
You have no trouble getting up onto the balcony.
Cool. And then I will help Zal.
So Zal gets to actually make an athletics roll because Zal, he's not skilled in climbing.
Yeah, okay. But can I offer help?
You can, which decreases the DC he needs.
So do I roll, or I'm just offering help?
M
No,
rolls.
it reduces Zal's target number.
Okay,
So
cool.
you're helping by saying you're helping.
Okay, cool.
Zal, grab my hand. Why didn't you grab my hand? As the Valkyrie goes splat.
No, my favorite dice rolled an 18,
Oh.
so I'm happy. Athletics, did you say?
Yes, athletics.
92.
Okay, so with the help of this tasty mortal before you, you make it up onto the balcony. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
I love how it just gets like worse every time you say that.
Tasty morsel. No.
Oh dear.
Hold on.
I'm just like, my favorite dice. That's funny. So
Go you.
You seem to have disappeared into the distance with your voice.
Probably the dog's facing away. Is it dog?
Still quite distant.
Still a bit weird.
I don't think anything's changed. Here we are. Now coming through
Are we?
here.
So what did you roll on your saving throw? Because I didn't hear it. It was a bit quiet for me.
Can you get all these?
Is that better?
That's a lot better.
That's better.
Yeah, no, I'm just using my headset mic. Something's up with Josh's mic for some reason.
Yeah.
It's better than when my mic every now and then cuts out completely, and everyone online doesn't hear me, which has happened in the last 2 games.
Oh no.
But it's weird that it's done halfway through the session.
Yeah,
That's what it
fine.
did with the last 2 D&D games, but it was me who lost the audio.
But is that better?
It is a lot better.
I disconnected and reconnected.
That's what I've had to do a few times as well, and it seems to fix it all.
Love it.
It's like the first time ever we've had something weird happen with Discord. It's very
Yeah.
exciting.
Okay, so yes, what did you roll again?
Sorry. I got natural 20 for my favorite dice.
Yep.
So with my plus 8 from the wisdom, it would be 28. Upgraded. Is that right?
Okay, so with your inhuman willpower control that you're currently having, you're looking at the thing that can sate your thirst right before you and thinking, you'll wait until a more appropriate time. Maybe when you get them alone. So that moves over to the werewolf guy behind you, who manages to climb up even though his hands are slipping on the rope. Didn't want to be left behind with the paladin for too long, who had mentioned trying to kill him more than once. Which leaves the paladin in the room with all these poor souls trapped in the skeletons of their former bodies.
I'm getting out of there. That's all I can do.
So is the paladin trained in athletics?
Yes.
Then you have no trouble scaling the rope without assistance.
Oh.
Okay, so you see before you a velvet curtain of a nice deep red fabric and 2 very comfy looking thrones overlooking the torture chamber below.
Special room.
really tempted to try sitting in one of those chairs.
Why?
Because they look comfy.
They do look extremely comfy.
I advise the Fair Ranger not to do it.
That's okay, she's a necromancer. Well, he's a necromancer. I'm sure he's perfectly fine doing it.
Like I said, I advise. You can happily ignore me like the 90% of the times you do.
No.
Thus, Fair Ranger.
So does Zal listen to the advice of his minion?
For once, yes. Or at least I tried to. Because I said tempted. But really I want to find a way out of here more than trying a comfy chair.
I shall give you a charisma check to see if you can keep away from doing it.
Charisma check.
Saving or charisma saving throw if you've got the
Right.
bonus.
Not quite so good. 13.
So as you're saying to the paladin, yeah, you're right. I really shouldn't sit on this chair as you sit down in it. I totally agree with you.
Stop.
With no hint of sarcasm, like actually sounds genuine.
And as you sit down, you see before you scene after scene playing out of the people before you getting tortured and sliced to pieces.
Oh my god.
And you feel a sense of satisfaction the more pain they're in.
What?
I'm not comfortable with this.
But you are.
I know.
The player's horrified, the character's happy.
Big, like, evil grin on your face.
It's a really comfy chair. Just trust me.
No.
And do you think you could fall asleep to the sounds of their screaming?
I'll spend a few minutes sitting there, sort of watching things unfold. Sigh, and then stand back up.
I was about to say, Paladins let you have 30 seconds and drinks off the chair.
Yes, your minion has ended your entertainment early, and you now feel hungrier than you did before you sat down.
I'll do a Mystara by the ankles and slide off the chair. Hold you upside down. Were you? Looked at you upside down.
It does freak out Chauvel that as he's pulled you off the chair, your body hasn't fallen by the weight of your ankle. She's pulled you off the chair and you're still in the sitting position.
Yeah.
I shaked the Fair Ranger to make sure gravity still works.
You shake the failed ranger and you can move the failed ranger around the room, but the failed ranger is still in the sitting position.
That's weird.
I just drop it.
I was either about to get carried out or that.
Okay.
And the failed ranger just stretches his legs out and stands up as if he was getting out of the chair. The paladin's evil detector, I'm sure, is going crazy right now.
Oh, yeah.
So while they're doing this, what is Imni doing?
My holy spittle is like screaming at me right now. Get out. Get out.
So while you two are having fun with the chair, what is Imni doing? Hello, Sue.
Yeah.
I was just asking what was Imni doing while Zal and Chauvel were interacting with the chair.
With the chair. I think she was just looking around the balcony.
Okay, so looking around, you notice that the red velvet drapes are actually about 10 feet from the wall, and there is a door behind it.
Oh, I'm going to tell them, look, there's a door, people. I'll go up and see if I can open it.
You can. It opens easily to your touch. And as you turn back to tell the others, you see Chauvel waving Zal around in the air as if Zal's still sitting down.
Oh, okay. Well, I will go over and tell them there's a door here. Does Zal is she back on the chair, or is she in a sitting position on the floor?
Well, he's in a sitting position in the air while being waved around. And then when Chauvel lets go of Zal, Zal just stretches his legs out, and as if he was standing up from a chair, and is now standing properly.
Okay, cool.
So not freaky at all.
No, not at all.
We can't see it, Mom, but I'm shaking my head.
You've gotten yourself into a lot of trouble.
Are you surprised?
No.
Well, how much trouble can you get yourself into?
A lot.
Knowing this part, a lot.
Also, knowing that you haven't mentioned anything about your symptoms to anyone, I'm letting this play out and trying not to interfere.
Even though he probably doesn't quite recognize that they're symptoms. But yes. Well, actually, it's not so much I haven't mentioned it. I did. I said I didn't feel well after eating food. And then I haven't touched food again. And occasionally, like side-eye you and Imi in a way you can't quite describe.
As food. Well, we can describe it.
Well, maybe you could. Maybe you could it up.
I think the paladin can pick up what you're staring at.
I stare at the paladin intently, and then kind of close my eyes as I forget that I get paladin screamed in my face.
Well, actually, as you look at the paladin now, you no longer get it screamed in your face.
Oh.
You just see the outline and the throbbing on the neck. So you're not looking at the cleavage, you're looking at the neck.
Well, if it wasn't obvious to Paladin before, it probably is now that I'm staring at his neck. Or her neck.
No, he's ruling.
I don't know.
Most likely.
Cool. I'm casting Lesser Restoration on you. It probably will do nothing. But you've been weird since you had that banquet. And I don't like the way you're looking at me like you're going to eat me.
Okay.
As Owl's like stomach growls again.
Yes.
As you cast that.
Yes.
So as you cast Lesser Restoration on Zal, your hand burns.
Oh.
What's new?
Well, you didn't expect it to burn. That was new.
Ow.
Probably because you're using like a light magic in a beta.
But I'm using radiant magic.
Oh yeah, radiant magic.
You don't think it actually had any effect.
Right.
And then you remember that Imni said there was a door behind the curtain that leads into a room.
Ooh. I will push the Fell Ranger in front of me, making sure the Fell Ranger's in front of me.
Okay, so you're stepping into a new area. This one is well lit compared to nearly everywhere else you've been for a while. It has a stone fire burning fiercely in the center of the room, but its tall white flame produces no heat at all. The rim of it is carved with 7 cup-shaped indentations spaced evenly around the circumference. Within each indentation is a spherical stone, twisted twice the diameter of a human eyeball, and made of a coloured crystal. No two stones are the same colour. Overhead, a wooden framed hourglass as tall and wide as a dwarf hangs 10 feet above the flames. Suspended from the ceiling by thick iron chains, the hourglass is. All the sand is stuck in the upper portion of the hourglass, seemingly unable to run down to the bottom. Written in glowing script on the base of the hourglass is words that seems to leap into your brain as you look at it. The words read as if you're looking at the paladin, saying, "Cast a stone into the fire. Violet leads to the mountain spire. Orange to the castle's peak. Red if law is what you seek. Green to where the coffins hide. Indigo to the master's bride. Blue to ancient magic's womb. Yellow to the master's tomb."
That doesn't sound ominous at all.
And either side of you to the east and west wall stands a 9-foot tall knight on horseback statue with swords drawn and horses looking like they're about to charge. And you see before you 3 sets of stairs going up. So the far wall, this being a room that is 30 by 30 feet. Each 10 feet of the north wall has a separate staircase. So you found a hub in the maze. Which way do you go?
I don't know, which way do you guys want to go?
When in doubt, left.
I have rules for that. Actually, oh no, the older music stopped, didn't it?
It did. The organ music had stopped.
I didn't know what I was about to say.
Well, I'll give each of you an insight roll.
Go. Paladin's not that insightful, but a full 8.
Let's say insight. I got 16 on that.
16's pretty good. How did Zal do?
24.
Okay, from Chevelle's perspective, we should take the stairs. From Indy's perspective, she believes that the riddle is referring to the stone orbs around the white flame. From Zal's perspective, he thinks the white flame is a portal.
Maybe it's a portal to get out of here.
So the riddle. What was the riddle again?
The riddle stated, cast a stone into the fire. Violet leads to the mountain spire. Orange to the castle's peak. Red if law is what you seek. Green to where the coffins hide. Indigo to the master's bride. Blue to ancient magic's womb. Yellow to the master's tomb.
Where are we going? We're looking for what?
But you were told that the blood taken from an unwilling recipient used on the portal can take you home. So it may be this portal also has another purpose if you're willing to do so.
Hmm.
Lal will say he thinks it's the portal. But doesn't quite understand how the unwilling part works.
Well, with your insight, you realize you could pretty much bite Chauvel, and Chauvel is quite unwilling for you to bite him. And then that would then be blood that would be unwilling.
Can I do the same, but like cut? Because that would probably have the same result.
Except for the fact that Chauvel might be willing to go home with a cut. But definitely wouldn't be willing for you to bite Chauvel on the neck.
But we know that our werewolf friend had blood royal, and we presumed
But he might not be a relative of yours.
no, I know that. But we presumed that it was being used for this portal. If we were, from what we've heard and learned, though it could just have been used for, being blood cell.
And he may have created a magic device based on his blood to allow him to use it at will. Because you do know in most cases the material component of a spell is not consumed unless it requires it as part of the magic.
Yeah.
So if you can preserve the blood and it's not consumed, you can reuse it.
You don't really want to bite the Chauvel's neck.
Give me a will save.
I was about to say,
Well, no, but I was going to say...
this is the same thing as the chair. I'm not going to sit on the chair.
I was going to
I
say...
don't want to bite Chauvel's neck.
But I was going to say, I'm happy to bite, like, his wrist or arm or something else, but the neck, I don't know, but...
Well, it does say it has to be taken unwillingly.
Sure, but I'm presuming wherever I bite Chauvel is going to be pretty shocking, and she would not approve anyway. And my favorite dice is like a week so what is it? Wisdom?
Yep.
26.
26. Okay, so yes, you do look at Chauvel and you do see that, yes, you could bite Chauvel in multiple areas. There are quite a few areas where if you bite him just right, she will bleed out.
That's not really their aim. Their aim is just to get blood in general.
I know,
Not
but
the-
you succeeded in not just instinctively doing so, and got information in the process.
Wait. I'm gonna go. Can I go for like a non-lethal area?
Does Chauvel allow it?
No.
So now that is an initiative roll. It is now initiative.
It is now initiative.
It is.
I hell I'm letting in necro. Sorry, Baron. Trying to block me.
Wait, why am I initiative plus gold? That doesn't sound right. There's not like passive. That's also not right because I have guys in 3, so 2. Yeah.
That's lost.
So what did Zal get on initiative?
16.
What did Chauvel get?
No, I wasn't at 16.
Chauvel also got 16.
Yeah, I'm still at 16.
So both of you got 16.
Yeah.
And what did Imni get?
Hang on. 18.
Okay. So, Imni, you see, as you're looking at this thing, you see Zal's eyes start to glow red. His teeth grow fangs and start to reach out for Chauvel. What do you do?
I will grab Cheval and fly him out of the road. Pull her out of the road.
Okay, you step between Zal and Chauvel. And beside you, you see a male grow into a large hairy beast and stand between Zal and Chauvel as well.
Okay. Yeah.
So now, who has the higher bonus to their initiative between Zal and Chauvel?
I do.
So Chauvel, you're up next. You just had the two people in the party who's not trying to bite you, try to protect you.
That's good.
Including the person you've been voting to kill all this time. What does Chauvel wish to do?
Draw a sword.
Okay, you draw your sword. Anything else?
Point Baron saying, go away.
Okay, so now we're up to Zal. M, you're up. What would you like? Who would you like to bite or rip apart?
Do I, on some level, realize what I've so done or doing? Sort of.
Well, you realize that you just needed some blood, and apparently you can guarantee now that Chauvel is unwilling no matter how you get it.
Leave me alone.
So how would you like to get the blood from your latest victim?
How far away is the paladin?
The paladin is currently about 15 feet away from you, with a large werewolf and a ranger in between.
I have something in mind, but it's not going to be pretty.
That's all good. If it's not going to be pretty, your brain approves.
I to try and get blood or in any means possible is kind of like what I'm trying to do right now.
Yep.
I cast magic missile at the paladin.
Okay.
I'm not gonna cast it at a high level. But that seems the most effective way to get blood.
I believe that is 3
and
missiles.
around 2 people.
So, does the paladin have a way of stopping a magic missile?
No.
So, M, you get to roll your damage.
So each dollar is a d4. And what's plus 1 force damage mean?
It's normally a d4 plus 1 force damage, meaning that it is a magical type of damage.
Okay.
So anything that can't be harmed by non-magic is harmed by force damage. Whereas if it did bludgeoning damage is not necessarily magical, so it's not an energy type, which means it is subject to other forms of bludgeoning resistance.
Yeah.
It's the silly way they word some of these things.
Yeah. So essentially as I'm not casting out, it's 3 darts, and each dart deals
1d4 plus 1.
plus 1. So I'm just rolling 3.
3d4 plus 3.
Yeah. Nine damage.
So as you wave your hands and point at the paladin, you see a spear of blood shoot out of your finger and strike through the paladin, inflicting about 60 points of damage as 3 spears strike through the paladin in different directions. And you can see the paladin sort of stuck in place with these spears of blood still present after you've fired off your missile.
Aww. Oops.
So, Imni, you've just seen your necromancer use a mighty spell to hold the paladin in place. What do you do next?
I'm gonna get whacked by the paladin and I'm gonna die.
So what does Imni do? Hello, Sue.
Yeah.
What does Imni
Sorry.
do? You've just seen the paladin get hit by great spears of blood that pinned her in place.
And where did those spears come from?
They came from Zal.
Oh my God. What's Zal doing?
Apparently continuing to attack Chauvel even though you were trying to protect Chauvel.
Can I grapple her and get her, grappled?
The only female here is Chauvel. If you'd like to grapple Chauvel, you can, but Zal's the one who's throwing the magic.
No, I want to grapple Zal.
That's why I'm pointing out Zal's the male.
Yeah, but I want to grapple Zal so he can't throw more things at Zal.
Okay, so that means you get to make a athletics check with the DC equal to Zal's athletics flat check, passive athletics.
Okay.
So is that my athletics plus 10? Is that my passive?
That is your passive.
Wow, okay. Well, I rolled 18 plus 6, 24.
Yeah, you easily overcome me.
So you wrap your arms around Zal to hold Zal in place.
Yep, to stop him doing what he's doing. To survive.
Okay, so Emil, the great werewolf, shatters the blood spears, pinning Chauvel in place. Chauvel, what do you do?
I'm free.
You are currently free after the werewolf freed you.
I'm good. I'm just about to get like super flexy. You You kind of see like a glint in Zal's eyes. Like he kind of knows what he did wrong, but he really couldn't help it.
But you're so good at it.
I walk over to Gimni, who's grappled Zal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One hand comes off my blade, clenches a massive fist, and twice connects with Zal's head.
Okay, so you punch twice. Give me an attack roll.
The 22, sorry.
22. And what was the second one? You had 2 attacks.
18.
And what was Zal's armor class?
I think it's 16.
Okay, so you get punched in the face twice. You don't even feel it.
Oh my goodness. Does it have any effect?
It does because Zal, who's covered in blood, Chauvel, who's covered in blood, just got some of it into Zal's face, and so you see Zal's eyes start to glow with a deep red light.
Oh. Chauvel, don't get in front of her eye. His eyes. It looks like he's going to shoot spears at you again.
So Zal, you just had the taste of the most magnificent flavor you've ever felt in your entire life. You got a bit of Chauvel's blood.
Oh God.
I told you my face. Anyway.
It was just perfect.
I decided to punch you in the face.
And it felt like a baby punched you in the face. It was that weak. You realize you could toss Imni off you as if it was a ragdoll.
Oh my God.
Does that stop like the hunger pains?
It has intensified it because you've now fed.
Oh, okay. I don't really want to toss any but
But there's also this convenient neck just next to your head where you can literally just reach down and bite.
I'm pretty sure this is going to be like another will save if I try to find it. As I try to like keep the last shred of my humanity.
As you realize that your fingers have elongated into razor sharp claws.
Do we notice her change, all these changes with her?
Well, you've wrapped your arms around Zal, so it's very hard to look at these changes as you're holding Zal tight against you.
Okay.
Probably definitely sees it.
Chevelle sees it
Yep.
and feels it too because Chevelle's hand feels like you've been punching a statue.
Don't punch Chinese statues.
Like a paladin's training regime, like punching roll.
Pretty much.
Well, he did have one tossed away at one stage, so he does have this anger issue relating to rocks.
You're not the rock, but at the same the boat. How dare you resist?
So what does Zal do? What does Zal do? Do you reach into your base desires and bite someone? Or do you just take the blood unwilling of the person in front of you and use it?
Given the goal was to use the blood, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. So, while Imni has you greatly wrapped around in a pin, you just flick her off to the side of the room as if she was basically a little ball. Give me an attack roll as you go for Chevelle.
So she can do that, doesn't she? Isn't she grappled? Doesn't she have
She
to?
was grappled, but she unfortunately has been giving in to some of her desires. And
Okay.
she's not exactly human at the moment.
Okay.
But you don't get hurt by hitting the wall.
The ability's like straight, correct? Or is that something else added? So
Well-
like roll plus just strength?
You can use agility if you prefer, which is dexterity.
Yeah. No, we get most of the strength for a dexterity, so it makes more sense.
It does make more strength to do a strength one, so give me an attack roll.
Yeah. So dice roll of 15. Strength of 4. So this is 19.
So would a 23 hit Chevelle?
Yes.
Okay, so yes, you managed to swing out and slice at Chevelle. Roll 2d8.
I'll go over 10 to the spectrum. 8 plus 1 plus anything else? Or
Plus your 4.
plus 1.
So that makes it 13 points of damage.
Yeah.
And you flick it into the flame like you'd been planning on using. And as you do that, you see the three of you just vanish and appear standing in a forest.
Do I look normal? Do I feel normal?
You feel perfectly normal. These claws are perfectly normal.
These clothes are perfectly normal. Great.
and you see the sun start to rise. What does Imni what does Imni do?
Burns. Um,
So Sue, what would you like to do? You find yourself in a forest. You seem to have you think you've come home. That Zal has activated the portal, sending you back.
Okay. So I'm back in the forest near where I live or where I come from.
You do think you're back in the forest in Karamikos, where you originally went into this place, and you see in front of you Zal with his elongated claws, red glowing eyes, and bitey teeth, standing over Chauvel with a big rent in the front of her armor.
Whoa, okay. Well, if we're in that forest and we're out of wherever we were, um, is this like an illusion or something? Can I do like an insight check or a perception check or something?
You can do an insight check.
Okay. Because it just seems odd to me. Uh, 15 plus 2, 17.
17. Okay, looking at it, it looks as if Zal may have been turned into a vampire.
Oh, and do I know how to stop a vampire?
Generally a stake through the heart or exposing them to sunlight. The way that Zal threw you off does make you think inhuman strength.
Right, okay, and there's no sun here in the forest?
The sun's starting to come up, so you don't have long if you want to stop Zal getting away.
Okay, well, I'm going to go over and grapple her again.
Okay, give me another athletics check.
Okay, 19 plus 6, 25.
Okay, so you've managed to grapple the vampire again, this time from behind, so your neck's no longer exposed to those bitey fangs.
Also, can I, now that I've grappled her, can I move her out so that when the sun comes up, she'll be there in the sun and she can't run away?
Well, you think you have. I'm happy to say that.
Okay, cool.
Which then brings us to the werewolf who looks up at the sky and says, I can see stars. And it is Chauvel's turn.
I don't know how I feel about this.
Well, you've taken more damage from Zal in the last round than you have from most creatures you faced.
Don't know.
this is just payback. The quality you found wearing for all the time. Okay, just tell you. I mean, I got a home road.
Chauvel got 2 hands on his sword. And with Imni attempting to grapple the whatever juju is there, I will point the tip of my blade at Zal's throat.
So, ready to attack if Zal tries to break free?
Pretty much.
Okay. Just confirming so you know what the ability is there. So that moves us over to Zal. Zal, you have been grappled and someone has readied their blade to strike you if you were to try to break free. What do you wish to do? As you see the sun starting to rise above you and feeling the dread of its gaze upon you.
I'd like to say that I stay there, and you know, I would achieve my goal and feel really proud, which I probably do. But on some level, I'm still probably trying to fight that like primal feeling. So actually, I'm not entirely sure what I like do.
So I will give Zal a religion check.
Religion shit. Okay.
$26. Okay. So Zal believes that he has been showing the traits of vampirism. And if the sun comes up and he truly is a vampire, it will destroy what's left of him. What does Zal wish to do?
I don't really want to do that hard. Because his life was going, well, it's not going to go a lot better for him. And,
You were the child who will have problems if you stay here.
yeah, so, but yeah, speaking of that, I probably put a big dampen on,
What, the relationship?
yeah.
Or you could have an everlasting one.
Sorry?
Or you could have one that everlasts.
Yeah.
Make him your thrall and then he'll never leave.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like right. I don't know. I will see what comes. I will face the door.
Okay, so as the dawn comes up, you feel yourself racked with pain. Give me a will saving throw.
By the way, we're about, what, 2,000 sessions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have an idea, I have these, like, physical feelings were building on you.
Well, I haven't needed it.
Well, how many years now?
What?
How many years now?
I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing. I will remember it all.
Did you get a natural one?
No.
Everyone's like, no, please go on her.
Take it.
Other murals and penalties ones.
Well, I believe there is at least one.
There is this one. I'm gonna get your girl.
Okay.
Yeah. What's from a 1 to an 88? Wisdom?
Yep.
26.
Okay, so you feel as if you're being burnt alive, feeling every bit of it. You don't get the blissed satisfaction of passing out due to the pain. You feel the entirety of it coursing through your body, as if you're being burned alive. And the worst part of it is you can't move, you can't scream, you can't do anything, and you're feeling everything burning away.
Oh.
And by the time the sun's fully on you, you feel as if there's nothing left until you realize that your hands are normal, the rest of you feels normal, but you feel burnt to your very core.
Awesome. I have very mixed feelings. Probably more ways on.
And when you glance down at the drift globe of your father, you notice that in place of the normal teeth, he's now got canines. Vampire teeth.
Oh. Okay. Dad.
And the eyes and the eye sockets now glow with a little red light. So you have this sinking feeling that vampirism that you had, that you believe you contracted, has been absorbed into the drift globe.
Interesting. Does that mean my dad saved me?
You're not quite sure. He may have.
This is something I have to research. And then making a mental note of that, and probably pass out at that point. Maybe.
You want to pass out, but you can't close your eyes. You can't move a muscle. You still seem to be able to breathe, but you can't make it faster or slower. Everything hurts.
Everything hurts. I probably groan. I'm like, this sucks.
But Zal looks like he's returned to normal. Seems that between Imni and Chauvel, you have cured Zal of that foul vampirism that he had contracted.
I beat the ever-loving crap out of Zal until he's unconscious.
Okay, so Zal doesn't put up much of a fight, but Zal's eyes never close no matter how much you punch him.
Like, the thing is, like, my soul goes from your neck, goes into my holster, and I just go down.
Yeah.
You big motherfucker! Dare you do this to the whole body! I'm like burning with fire.
This is like 10 years worth of like sort of rage, just like coming out.
Fucking everyone, stupid fucking skull! Down.
Okay.
I didn't use the arrow on you. I
So-
didn't think about it. This
Well-
is
While all this is happening, Imni noticed Drazzle sitting off to the side, writing it all down in his journal. And he seems to have a small little cook fire next to him with each of your horses tied up and what looks like a rubber over the fire.
Does he have my activity?
He does.
Yay.
Yay!
And your axe-beak is looking very behaved.
Oh, that's good.
It
For a
is
change.
It's all sitting next to my activity.
Horse is sitting over your axe-beak.
Yeah, I can get that. Yep.
And you do notice that, you also notice that Drazzle's got a new quill. It seems to be made from axe-beak feather.
I'm sure that this is more price pay for having him look over all
So he does look up when Chauvel finally stops and asks, story?
Zol kind of grows and just like, I probably give that like
Chauvel does the hard thing, he loves to go and lose his story, and it doesn't mind. God in the face. You don't need to know.
Yeah, Chauvel need hug.
Like Kevin Muster nod.
So Chauvel will happily take a hug at this point in time.
So
When Chauvel will accept the hug.
So
After all that.
Chauvel gets a big comforting hug from Drazzle, the 8-foot-tall dragonborn, and feels all those wounds and aches caused by Zal close up.
Yay.
Yay.
See like little embers rolling down like Chauvel's face.
This is 10 years, 10 of like crystal energy and it's all.
Yeah, it's not very wrong, but that's enough to do it.
And Chauvel feels very cathartic after all that. And then Drazzle offers you a leg of rabbit.
I'm done.
Tastes like the nicest thing you've ever had, considering you've been stuck in a place where you felt no hunger. So, you end up resting for the night there. And Zal wakes up with a splitting headache, but fully healed.
Yay!
See what a good night's rest does for you?
And it was so much better.
Good.
See how you feel after being knocked out by absolute fury. Your eyes never closed.
At which point,
Dream.
Zal realizes that it is actually somewhere around midnight, and that you're seeing everything by starlight.
Well, at least we made it back.
It's as bright as day for you.
Oh. Okay.
Not creepy at all.
No.
But you do realize that it'll be very hard for a large group of people to use that as a staging area.
As in the area we're in now.
The portal you used to get back.
Oh, right.
It
Yeah.
doesn't seem to be designed to do more than, say, 10, 20 people at a time.
And then they're saying like whole platoons were going through the dimension.
While if Alfrecia were to attack using it, he would try to send whole platoons through.
Yeah.
He could probably send battalions and battle groups through.
So they could still potentially use it, but it would be in small numbers and they would probably want.
It would be in small numbers, and it'll probably not be in easily strategic areas. So the areas would be in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't want people to see undead popping up just anyway.
Well, yeah. So it's kind of like it's not as ideal as they probably think, but they can still probably use it if they know how.
It would only be useful for a small group of people, maybe 6 to 12. Anything more than that, and depending on how long the recharge is for the portal, they may not be coming through in the same year.
Okay.
And as it needs the blood of an unwilling relative, how could you actually expect them to know all the parameters before going in? Not necessarily.
Yeah. Whereas we did a lot of work to know that much.
You learnt the right questions to ask, knowing what was required.
Yeah.
So you do feel as if you've gotten yourself a major advantage in that you probably could use this place. And if Chauvel managed to take some of the blood from you after pummeling you into what he believed was unconsciousness, could potentially use that to reactivate the portal at a later stage. Did Chauvel take any of Zal's blood after beating up Zal?
No.
Well, while you're conscious, it's less unwilling.
Actually, yeah, Chauvel got like every while a lot of things. Unwilling is all one.
Because you believe that would be a component if necessary. You don't have to tell Zal about it, because if you don't tell Zal about it, Zal can't be willing.
Mm-hmm.
And you prepare it properly for long-term use. So now that you've gotten yourself some rest, the sun comes up a few hours after Zal wakes up. 6 hours after Zal wakes up. And everything just seems so bright for Zal. And you can see the ruins of Krozeski Keep not far away, so you know that's where the portal you went in was. What would you like to do now?
Well, the whole reason for coming here was to get this information for the recruit. Did we get any other path to do that?
Well, you were going to investigate the cults of the elements in the northern reaches. You thought you wanted to find out more of what they were doing and planning.
Yes.
And
this was on the way, wasn't it?
and this was one of the things you wanted to do on the way. So as you look around, you realize that Yodri's not here. Neither is the other two friends that you had brought along.
I really get up, usually, even though I feel fine, just in case.
You feel like you're covered in bruises from head to toe.
I definitely get up, usually.
Do you know why?
Well, I do know why. I won't be able to bloody hole follow you.
I got to watch.
Why?
I'm going to shove my way to the fire and see if Druzzle's still awake.
Yeah, Drizzle's awake. You've rarely seen Drizzle sleep. He's got a couple of pictures in a book he's working on. One of them is what looks to be an angry Chauvel pummeling what looks to be a vampiric Zal.
I kind of look at it and I go, I deserve it, didn't know.
Drizzle just shrugs and offers you a piece of rabbit.
I will gladly take it. And I'll ask Druzzle, have our other friends come back?
He shakes his head, says, with you still. Where left? He asks.
Sorry.
He asks where were they left? Where left?
Well, two of them disappeared. Well, three of them. All three of them disappeared, but in different times. Two of them disappeared at once. The other one got off, and we have absolutely no idea.
Lost maybe then. Maybe we should go back find, he asks with a question. Take Drizzle this time?
Yeah, so. But I don't remember getting back about that. And I don't put the photo happening again. And painting the point of the drawing of myself getting cold to death. Almost.
Oh no, it was all non-lethal.
Getting cold to death, okay?
It was non-lethal.
Getting cold to death.
I mean, you have actually got it that way, but all non-lethal.
Ivny's not going to get involved in this, but she's going to give Zal a look and then just walk off.
I suppose it's getting better than getting beaten to death.
But you're not beaten to death.
I was probably beaten to death, okay?
No, you're still alive. If you were beaten to death, you'd be dead.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like I'm beaten to death.
Okay, that's better. Clarify.
Drizzle reaches over and pinches Zal.
Ow.
Not dead.
Ow. Why are we getting finished?
Pain means not dead.
Well, that's really good, sorry.
So beaten to pain. He nods.
I really don't really like getting beaten from cold again. Not anytime soon, anyway.
He suggests not biting your friends then.
As a good person, I will keep that in mind next time.
So where next, he asks. If not go back, go where?
Well, I mean, I'm not happy with my friends got left behind. Or our friends got left behind. But I'm not sure how willing they'll be able to go, or wanting to go back after that fiasco.
Then go where, he asks. Points at you and says, now party leader, you pick.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, Punchy Bird, you pick.
I mean, I really want to go back and find my friends. And I kind of look gingerly at Shallow. Surely you don't want to leave our friends in that place.
No, we won't leave our friends in that place.
So back we go. I go. And this time, remind me not to eat food.
Jarl turns to you and says, don't eat food.
Appreciate it.
Pat you in the head. And he says, lead on, don't leave Drizzle behind again, please.
What will happen? Well, actually, first question: how long will we go on?
gone many hours.
Many hours. Okay. Given that we know the portal comes out here, would it be logical to leave the animals tied up here?
You could.
Oh, that's just the thing though. You did mention it earlier. The potential like pull down on the portal. That's something that you don't know about though. Hmm.
Yes. How shall we proceed, party leader? He says, looking at Zal.
I don't like this. My brain's still foggy from being beat up.
Zal survived trial by combat. Zal now lead.
Apparently, that's about trial by combat.
He winks at Chauvel.
Oh my combat.
My body says. What would I reckon the likelihood of that portal having people down coming back into this world?
You're not sure. There's only one way to find out.
Mm.
And the person who normally asks those questions for you is one of the people left behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't intentionally leave them behind.
And they've been left behind for over a day.
Oh, just slept.
Mm.
Yeah.
And aren't they're in that area where those things are skinning things alive.
So, well, we don't know where, but the, Paula and, she were in the, dungeon area?
They were in the dungeon when they disappeared. So was Yodri.
Mm.
Okay.
Yep.
But we don't know if Yodri disappeared in the dungeon or whether he disappeared somewhere else. And the also changed. So,
You're not sure.
yeah, that's something I didn't not think about, but didn't realize quite so much because I've already been involved with the time slot. Yeah, so like they could be there for like hundreds of years by the time we get back.
Or it could have been
Annihilation or something?
could even be a moment by the time they get back. So time dilation in the Feywild and the Feydark is not static.
Right.
So what may be a moment may stretch out into a millennia without even changing breath.
Yeah. If we have any chance of finding them, we probably have to go back. I'm guessing that's the kind of like logical conclusion I come to.
That is a logical conclusion. As you have safely figured out that you can get back here by attacking Chauvel.
Okay, we are moving. Yeah. want to go back to get our friends, but I'm going to the lost.
I'm just wondering if maybe you need to stay here, because won't that happen to you again?
Yeah.
Or do you know better than to eat stuff this time?
Well, I know that it doesn't baby stuff now. I heard. But yeah, I don't know whether going back to the main hub would mean that the vampiric bubble was back. I'm not about to find out. I have no idea.
Now, does part of you actually desire to have it back?
And as in, I do desire it, or is that the question?
That's a question to the player.
Oh, not really.
So does that mean that your character's reluctant to go back in case you do turn back into a vampire?
A little bit, but he also doesn't want to leave his friends there.
And
Well, Emily will definitely go back. She won't leave anyone behind.
what does Cheryl think?
He's a little tempted. He's like, I want to go with my friends, but I don't. So he's saying this, he's like, I don't want.
Oh yeah, I totally get that too. Just I'm wondering if maybe we should go back and you stay here in case they turn up.
But Imni also knows that you need the blood of an unwilling relative, and the only relatives in the party is Shofal and Zal, and neither of them have ritually taken the other's blood, as far as you know, unwillingly.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So, as far as you and I think, and yes, I'm and I am probably unwilling to go. Does that make my blood unwilling?
No, they had to take the blood unwillingly, not you be unwilling to go.
Right.
It's why it's not a nice place to go to. Whereas the Feywild, it's more about giving up something of yourself. The Fey Dark is about taking it from someone else.
Yeah.
Which is why when most of the things mess with you, it messes with you in such a way that you're harming someone else. But you now have more of an idea what to be on the alert for. So, does this mean you wish to try to return?
If you want to stay with our friends, yes.
And I'll ask again, what does Chevelle saying on this?
Cheryl has a plan B when we go back to the place, but I just think we go back.
Yep, and you've got your vial hidden away just in case you need it.
That's plan B.
Okay, so you gather your stuff together, you set up your mounts to look after themselves, especially with your killer bird and horse looking after them.
Mm-hmm.
You think even werewolves would be worried about doing something here. And that's when you realize that Emil wasn't here in the morning when you woke up.
Oh.
He must have headed off on his own during the night. Maybe he's gone home to find his wife.
All worlds not the same.
Well, the village may still exist of where he grew up, as most of the settlements have been built over. Okay, so you start heading back to the ruined keep and remembering how you got in before. You realize one of you had done a knock spell to open the door.
Oh, that's right. I think it's all about that one, but I can do that one.
Yep. So
Reading across the field.
So casting the knock spell, the doors open up and you see the inner building as you saw last time. This time as you walk along, some of the pictures resemble Zal.
Right. As a vampire, or as I am currently?
As you are currently.
That must be real.
And this time when you reach the portal, you've got Drizzle with you this time.
Oh, cool.
Well, he did object to being left behind last time. But
Oh,
there
that's right.
was
Yeah,
no
we
one,
left
and there was no one for him to object to either. Just a his horse and Chocobo. And as you find yourself back in that place, you can still see those tentacles of Yodri floating above the walkway rising up from the blood seas below. So whatever spell he cast is still there. But who knows how long those things will last, because time doesn't really have any meaning here. And you can see the castle off in the distance, and I think considering it's 10 o'clock now and it would be a good time to bring the others back in, we'll end the session with you guys walking towards the castle.
Okay, cool. Okay.
So yes, you have successfully managed to get rid of your vampirism just to come back. So we'll find out what happens next time. Maybe you'll go for lycanthropy and try to collect all the different sets of curses.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so I'll put it on end credits, and if you'd like to stay around afterwards, I can chat for a little bit too. I can understand, that was why I was also trying not to keep it up late.
Yeah.
Okay, so going on to end credits.
Okay. Have fun tomorrow.